And I will suggest if people that are co-hosting, if you see that someone is trying to get in to admit, we will hear the bell, but it's impossible. I have tried to manage a way to silence the bell, but it's impossible. So every time someone will get in, we will hear the bell. So let's start our DESIS Café. So welcome everybody. I wish you all a happy 2024, a wonderful new year. I think we can still say that. So our journey in 2023 ended with a cup of a Brazilian coffee. In the beginning of the new year, we will find ourselves in Japan, specifically in Kyushu. So I extend a warm welcome to the 13 DESIS Café that is graciously hosted by the DESIS-Q Lab team, which is also a new member of the network, so it's a double welcome. I think that many of you are already aware that the essence of this event is to transform DESIS Café into a virtual space where DESIS Lab can talk and share insights about their activities and the projects and expectations. So this is very informal, a very informal platform that intended to fortify connections within our community and facilitate knowledge exchange and the sharing of both successes and challenges and difficulties, of course. So looking ahead, we are opening slots to host the DESIS Café for this year. Consider this opportunity for your DESIS Lab. We will have already one in March. So for now, I will welcome DESIS-Q Lab to start this DESIS Café.
Thank you very much, Teresa. I'm very happy to be here because it's our first activity. We attended the assembly at the end of last year. But yeah, we are really excited about this. And I'm just going to share my screen quickly to share with you quickly just our key members, and then all our members will have something to present and tell about. So really, our honorary member is Professor Yasuyuki Hirai, or Yas Hirai, who very much supported and encouraged us to start the DESIS Lab here at our university. Professor Hirai is not very soon, but in the future at some point will retire, and he will be very missed. Then we also have Associate Professor Yan Fang Chang, and we also have Assistant Professor Tokushi Inamura. And we will all have a little bit of a discussion. Now here on the map, you can see we are the southernmost island of Japan. Yes, we are red and bright on this map. And I think when I came to this university in April last year, I was really blown away by the work that has been done here, and which is exactly what we're going to present to you right away. So our program is we're going to spend a bit of time doing introductions. So first we will start with Professor Hirai, and then all of us will introduce ourselves as we go around, and presentations will be by Dr. Chang, Professor Chang and Inamura. So I'm stopped sharing my screen, but I think what we want to do is keep it keep it relaxed, keep it open, and please, anyone wanting to, yes, say anything or ask anything, please feel free. And welcome. It's really great to see all of you here with us. I'm going to now ask Professor Hirai to introduce himself and his work, and I'm going to share my screen. There we go. I hope you can see that. Thank you very much.
Okay, so may I start? Hi. So hello, everybody. So my name is Yasuyuki Hirai, as introduced, but my Yasuyuki name is too long, so everybody calls me Yas. Please go. So it's easy. So my background is I worked for Japanese companies, Kokuyo, and in Japan, there's an office furniture manufacturer. And after that, I had an opportunity to become a design consultant at IDEO in the United States for 4 years. Then I returned to Japan and I became a associate professor at the Kyushu Institute of Design, which is a former institute of the Faculty of Design at the Kyushu University. And now I'm a professor of Kyushu University. So I'm in Fukuoka and Kyushu University for more than 20 years now, because it's very a good place to live in. So we would like to welcome you to come to Fukuoka. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so this is a kind of overlap with Melanie's slide, but I want to emphasize Kyushu Island is very rich in culture and nature. So like Arita porcelain and imari are very famous crafts, and also a culture like Kumamoto Castle and other things. Okay. So next, please. And as for the Faculty of Design of Kyushu University, I would like to mention about our activities as a kind of broader area. So the vision of Faculty of Design, School of Design, is a humanization of technology since we are formed in 1968, when the economy was a boom economy, and the industry was kind of growing, and but humanity left behind. So that's why humanization of technology, we created that kind of vision, but still we need this because of the new technologies and the new lots of phenomena in the world. Okay, and one thing I want to emphasize is the topic, the work by one of our graduates, Hachiya Kazuhiko. He's an artist, but he created the real flying Mebe from Miyazaki Hayao's animation. And that is a kind of a good point that we have a technology-based, science-based design. So we are kind of combining creation and science together. Hi, next please. Also, we are combining not only science and technology, but business. So Fukuoka is a very lively area in Japan, lots of startups, and so very kind of an open, active city in Japan. Innovation Studio Fukuoka, we hosted, and we had lots of interaction with the startups and business people. And at the bottom, we have I want to say that we have a very strong game industry and the creative industry in Fukuoka. So those kind of works are done in Fukuoka. Next, please. So, and today's member, this is Q Lab in Kyushu University. We are all in a strategic design course. And what is a strategic design? I would like to explain about it. Next, please. So, so we are trying to merge design and business and entrepreneurship in one education program. So we lead creative leadership program. Hi, next please. And so that's a kind of whole holistic explanation about what we do. And as for me, I've been a furniture designer and office designer. And since 2003, I started inclusive design with the Helen Hamlin Center for Design at the Royal College of Art, because I graduated there. And so I co-design with lots of diversity of people like this. So one is a digital tactile map, and bottom left is a medicine, which look like a heart. And the life map is all the people's life planning with the visualization. Next, please. And I started from the inclusive design. Now, since 2014, we started a collaboration with Art University, and Kari-Hans Komonen, he's our collaborator, and he and we are now advocating societal design. And so societal design cannot be done without inclusive design, because human-centered is very important when we design a governmental level of design. Okay, next, please. Okay, that's all from me. And so nice to meet you, and I would like to talk with you more. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Hirai. We have a lot of members who joined us. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy that you came to listen to our DESIS Lab presentation. So the next presentation will be by Associate Professor Dr. Yanfang Chang. Yanfang, please, can you share your screen?
Okay, so I'm so
Welcome,
happy.
thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Where's my PowerPoint? I will share my screen firstly, and then thank you. Second two. So, did you see the Sustainable Future Design for Children?
Thank you.
Yeah, so I will play my PowerPoint. Okay, could you see it? Okay, thank you. Firstly, I want to thank you, Melanie. You connect our Kyushu University team to this, how can I say, fantastic network. And we're so happy to join the 13 Cafe here. And yeah, you know, our team, these 4 people, is so global. We come from 4 different countries. So we live in Japan, but we focus on global issues. I'm so happy to connect with DESIS. And today, so I want to talk about some design activities for SDGs we did in our university. So, and yeah, I think maybe 15 minutes, I want to talk these 3 projects: SDG Design Education Project, SD Design Workshop called Global Gold Jam, and also I want to share SDGs Design Internship Awards. Okay, firstly, I want to introduce myself a little. So, wait a second. Yeah, and I got the PhD in design from Kyushu University with a specialization in university design. Almost 8 years experience in design company. So currently, as an associate professor at the Faculty of Design, Kyushu University. So I am doing the project, also education, also the research about the design for SDGs. So the first project I want to share, the SDGs Design Education Project. As everybody knows, SDGs, sustainable, not design, sustainable development goals. The sustainable is so difficult because one project is very easy, but want to continue is so difficult because need money, need people, need, as you know, need a lot of resource. So this sort of project we just run year by year. So I want to share these kind of things. So yeah, so this project is start from 2019. This year now, yeah, is it 5th year? No, it's 5th year. So we still keep doing this project. So this project is kind of a SDGs education program. Kyushu University work with Fukuoka High School. So we make a sustainable approach for the co-design, which can dig issue and think about the idea, make the education material together as a team. So yeah, this project we start from 2019, it's just from 17 students, but 2023, we at the same time we have 600 students do this program together. 600 students need a lot of teachers. That's why we need work with the high school teachers work together. So yeah, so as it because you know so many teachers, they have a so diverse background. Some teachers, they don't have the knowledge about SDGs. They don't know the methodology about design. So how that kind of teachers can teach the high school student about this kind of SDG program, use the design methodology. That's why we focus the difficulty about teachers and make a lot of a support system. For example, make a free workshop to let the teacher experience how can use design methodology to do this kind of teaching program. And also we make a lot of material. And also we try to, for example, create a student textbook together and also make a teacher support note. And also as the photos, we make a lot, it's kind of education card. Also, if you have question, just let us know. We will have we reply. So how can I say, use some kind of a platform. If you have a question, just ask them. So we reply as soon as possible. This kind of support system. So this kind of education, of course, we as in 5 years, we have a lot of knowledge about how can teach high school student SDGs. So we publish some papers. Also, we make a book. It's an SDG design school. So make the first version book, want to share to another high school teachers how can use this kind of methodology, use this kind of card. So to teach this kind of SDGs program. So, okay, this is the first project. And the second one, I want to share another project that is called SDG Design Workshop Global Gold Jam. Global Gold Jam, I will say GGJ, is a 2 days workshop that's held across the globe in the weekend, almost, the weekend in September. So it's so the participant, so we work together. So we dig the logo issue, focus on logo issues, use design methodology to use a creative, how can I say, innovative thinking to creative solution for the local issues. Just 2 days, it's a very short days. So that's why we need some focus some methodology. Also, we use some tool. So this workshop, so is I think, how can I say it? This workshop, we start from 1916 until now is the 8 years, maybe. So we just keep moving. And the Toki, and he will talk later, also is the producer. We work together to produce this project. So this is a global project. At the same time, in the whole world, I think maybe now they have 200 cities, universities to do this 2 days workshop together. So we use the same methodology, but we focus on different local issues. So, and in Kyushu University's Global Jam, so we really focus the diversity. So the participant is come from maybe it's a high school student, also maybe it is an expert of designer, design expert, educator, and also maybe it's the member of the city hall. So we work together and we focus the issue together. And here is some, here is some oh, sorry, I think I lost some, but it's okay. This is every year we make a report book. So this is not until 2023. Now we are moving. We just want to record every method, record every proposal, and also we make a video to share to the YouTube. Want to another people also can focus SDG things. We can work together. So this is the, how can I say? Oh, this is the some methodology we use. This is the IoT things. Somehow we use the Zoom, and we use the Slack, and we use Miro to do this kind of workshop, global things. And yeah, somehow we use the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, these kind of things. And this one I want to share you. So the 2 days workshop is very short. This 2 days workshop, we think about the idea, but we did not just finish as the idea. We want to make the social implementation. This one, after the workshop, the group is still keep working. So, and the Kyushu University, the staff will help them to work with them, to support them. So, and this is just 3 examples. So they have already made their project as a real project. I mean, it's kind of successful case. So I will show you this one. Yeah, this case, this is a workshop is around 20, I think, yeah, maybe 2018, 2019 workshop, the team. So after the workshop, so the team, they work together, they make a brand of the fashion, work with Japan and Bangladesh. So because of the time issue, sorry, I cannot share you a lot of detailed things. What I want to say is the idea is very good, but good things, we cannot make this kind of design waste. It's a good idea. How can we make things come to true? This is SDG things. So it's not just make a workshop, make idea, good idea, so we done. Of course, workshop is very good education project, but at the same time, the good idea, what can we make this idea come to true, is also is very, very good methodology to share. Sorry, so I want to share another one. The last project is SDG Design International Award. So I want to share you this award. It also started from 2019. Yeah, 2013 is the 5th years. We invite students from all over the world to use their creative skills to create new, bold, and innovative solutions. The award aimed to be an international award that is unique to Kyushu University, continually changing in SDGs-like manner. So I want to share you. So the SDGs award is continuing. So because we follow these 4 major aspects. The first one is each year the same is set in, how can I say, is set in line with the times and the social conditions. Like the 2019. So yeah, we set marine issues, diversity, and you know, the end of 2019, we just have the COVID things. So the 2020, we make pandemic issue, we make the same. And we just keep to do this kind of, because, you know, the topic is very important to involve the students. That's why the first things. And the second, to expanding the participants. So the high school students, they say, before we just want to the college student and university student, but high school student, they raise their hand, they say, we want to join this award. So that's why the second year, 2020 year, we just also make a high school, how can I say, special award for high school student. So here, every year the award receive upload application from students from all over the world. So now it's just a small, I get the data, want to explain. So, and also as the Global Gold Jam, we have a lot of good idea, but the big things is not finished, it's idea. So the third fact is that we want to this kind of excellent winning idea, we want to make a social implementation. So this is a 2020 best innovation idea from China, Donghua University. So because I'm Chinese, I work with them in Shanghai. So we find the local company and the local community, so we work around 10 months and make idea to true. So I think this is also important things for SDGs. So the fourth Design International Award things is our collaboration. So our collaboration is now getting internationalizing. Sorry, this year, I mean the 2023 year, the Kyushu University work with Dongso University, Korea. I think maybe today also we have the professor from Dongso University today. So we just want to, you know, SDG is not you work your own. So we need so expand our network to work together as this is thing. So this year's theme is a creative, sustainable future, the design for children. So we designing for children, you know, the future bearers of the society will lead to brighter days ahead. So we also believe that the social issues is not be achieved only by one organization alone. So collaboration with companies and the local communities is also important. That's why every year we involve a lot of local companies to work together to, yeah, of course, good things, we get a fund. And so this is the year's judge. You can see, yeah, maybe there are some people is similar to you. And for 2023, we're so happy we get total 22 applications from 79 universities and high schools is from 17 countries around the world. Yeah, so this is the very short explanation is about this kind of SDGs activity about our Kyushu University did. So I want to also share information about, you know, SDGs start from 2017. And in our Kyushu University, because we noticed SDG things is a very issue, we should use a design methodology to do some, to contribute these SDG things. So in our university, we make SDG design unit 2018, April. And in this unit, a lot of diverse background teachers and staffs will work together. Now it's 36 staffs will work together. Yeah, we contribute this kind of a society from different point of view and what you can do, what we can do. Yeah, so also we want to keep doing this kind of challenge. And yeah, SDGs. So because it is until 2030. So after 2030, post SDGs, what can we do? I think the sustainable things, the sustainable methodology is very important. So hope can discuss this kind of methodology with all of you. Yeah, this is my presentation. Thank you. So the floor is yours, Madam.
Thank you very much, Yanfeng, Professor Yanfeng Chang here from Kyushu University. Again, quite a few people have joined us. You're most welcome. Yanfeng, thank you for your insightful presentation. And I think now perhaps our visitors to this cafe are kind of starting to see the rich array of different projects and approaches that we have at Kyushu. And to take you a little bit further and show you something completely different, I would actually now want to ask our Professor Tokushu Inamura. Please introduce yourself, Toki. Thank you very much. And you will, I'm sure, also enjoy his presentation very much. Thank you, Toki.
Hello. Can you see my screen all right?
Yes, we can see. Thank you so much.
Great. So hello. My name is Tokushu Inamura. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, and it's really great to be here as part of DESIS. I joined as a kind of audience back in Cumulus in Hong Kong when there was a DESIS meeting, and I found it really fascinating. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here. So I'll be kind of giving half of a presentation that I worked on with Professor Saranto, for Melanie, called Design with More Than Humans, Reimagining Social Biomimicry Through Collaborations and Learning, Performance, and Co-Authorship. So it's kind of like half of that presentation that we'll be talking about today based on some of the case that I've worked on. And I saw Auckland, New Zealand somewhere. Very happy to see you. Kia ora. How you doing? I call myself a flying Kiwi Japanese. I'm born and raised in Aotearoa, New Zealand, Tamaki Makaurau, or Auckland. Yeah, so I'm very happy to also be here and see another fellow. And I've been in the assistant professor in the strategic design and faculty of design. My education originally is in, I'll start from bottom, but Bachelor of Engineering Mechatronics. And then I moved towards industrial design. And then I studied at the Innovation Design Engineering program under Miles Pennington for working on my master's in London. And so this picture here is me flying somewhere in the middle of England on the mountain with some of the friends that I studied. My beard is a little bit longer now than back then, but yeah, I really had a good time during those times. So now let's see. So my field right now is very much moving towards, you know, I'm grounded in human-centered design, but I've kind of broadened out into more post-human-centered design. And I very much appreciate this left photo here I took in the Department of the Environment in New Zealand, where they said everything is connected. And I like that the local government actually had this kind of message and the connection to nature and community as part of the government stance. So that's something I'm a little bit proud of, so to speak. But one of the places that really broadened this kind of research for me is the Wanganui River that I've paddled down and also been out on upper end and lower end, and I've kind of bicycled along it and talked to many people. And so that's kind of a field. So I have a faraway field back in New Zealand, but I also have a close field in Japan, in Kyushu, that today I'd like to get into a little bit more. So we see this kind of rivers as these very essential places that can help us to span like a research and practice for this kind of social and transition design. And I'd like to share my work on the Nakagawa River, which flows through Fukuoka city where we're based. And so what we see is that there are many opportunities to foster these kind of ontological shifts towards co-authorship and more than humans, including this river and all the, you can see the little bird on the flotsam there, and as a foundational mindset. So these kind of opportunities present themselves around both urban and rural interactions with nature. This place here where I took the photo is maybe a 15-minute drive to the airport and very close to the center of Hakata, just further upstream a little bit. And so some of the questions that we raised through this research is how can social biomimicry be reimagined through collaborations and learning, performative practices, and co-authorship? And how can such collaborations inform models of shared learning spaces for new knowledge and transformation in society? And we're doing this through our practices on the river itself. So the case that I'd like to share, again, is on the Nakagawa River. This is a short walk from our campus in Ohashi. It's a little design campus, compact. And you can walk to the river a little bit eastwards. And on this river, we've kind of conducted some design methods. I've also used some meditative methods and participatory methods in order to do some of our work on the river in co-authorship. So just to give you some flavor of the kind of thing that happens on this river that we're working together with, left is a little snapshot from our Instagram account of this Nakagawa Mirai Kaigi, which is a future forum that we have there to organize with local government, companies, local civic organizations, schools, and such. And we've had music, physical activity like bicycle markets, stand-up paddleboarding, and we've made bamboo temporary architecture, these kind of things. So we have a lot of activity on the river, and we host events on that river with some funding from the Ministry of Transport in Japan. Yes. And this is a kind of map that you're starting to get familiar with in Kyushu. And we're in Fukuoka. You can see bottom left is Nagasaki. And so we're kind of above there. And on the right, you can see some zoomed in images that we're really kind of in the heart of the town, but it's quite a green area. Very nice to be in such a kind of rich nature, even though it's quite a dense urban zone. And in terms of the biomimetics that I talked about before, it's not just biomimetics of function learning from nature, but also to be embodied into other species and other non-humans. So how can you become part of this river? How can we become close to some of the species that live in part of this river? And so one suggestion here is that I've conducted is like, how can you become a bird's eye view? Normally you might say fly, but bird's eye view. In this case is I've used the cormorant, the birds, or u in Japanese, that are on the river quite often as a kind of inspiration. So by paddleboarding on the river, getting active, these are photos of some of our exchange students who arrived from Milan and also Germany. And we conducted such kind of physical activity, as well as learn about stories from very experienced people living on the river, the kind of stories that they used to play on the riverside. So getting very physically onto the water is very important. And we've done meditative and drawing exercises based on our physical experiences. And that kind of changes the way we look at the river, not away from the river, but we're on the river. So when we design environments and communities around this area, then it changes our mindset. So this is kind of example of the output, as that we proposed to the top left, you can see tangible outputs of kind of architectural proposal and park proposal to have the stand-up paddle boards underneath as a kind of boatyard, and then have a community space for learning, sharing, being on the river, learning about nature, and create some kind of experience there. So this was an output that the students produced during learning, but we then presented it to the river-based communities, local governments, and we continue to build on this idea, which has led to more tangible experiments on the river. Our second example is also bird's eye view, but this time the kingfisher. This comes from the 2018 Global Goals Jam, the same jam that Yang Fan-jan, Professor, introduced just before. And as part of this two-day jam, one of the teams were kind of trying to design with the river, but weren't really sure where to start. And as they were strolling along the river, I walked along with them. And on the other side of the river, there was a person taking a lot of photos of the trees. And we found out that that person was a birding enthusiast and was trying to take photos of the kingfishers. And the story that the photographer told us was that the trees that branch out over onto the rivers are seen as nuisances by local government because they need to clean up and it's more maintenance, but actually it supports the kingfishers' feeding grounds. And so we need to be careful about how we create our riverfront environments and how we appreciate those kind of environments and balance them with our needs for making sure that not too much debris or, for example, rubbish clings onto some of these trees. So becoming the kingfisher's point of view, we can start to create this kind of empathy and curiosity. And even in short jams, we can generate these entry points to co-authorship. How can we be with the river and design with the river? Another one that I'd like to share, and the final one, is insect view. This time, I'm using the drone as an example of augmenting a biomimetic point of view of the river. So these images here are drone point cloud data. So it's 3D data that we gathered using some drones and LiDAR technology. And by the way we flew this drone, it reminds us very much in Japan, we're very close emotionally to the dragonfly. One of our most famous pencil brands is called Tombow, and Tombow is dragonfly. So it's very important, and we have children's songs that we all know. Akatombo, the red dragonfly, is very famous. So it's something we identify with. And we use these kind of drones to fly and show them the different point of view of the river in a way that you wouldn't see before. And this is also technologically sophisticated, but also an augmented way of exploring a biomimetic way to get a feeling for what the river is and where we are. And it's almost like how an insect might see it's in its mind how to navigate this river space. So the findings from this kind of activity, I think so far we can say that this kind of more than human co-authorship presents these opportunities to foster a new consciousness and engage to push and change habits, adopt virtuous behaviors and attitudes for learning on the river. And this kind of biomimicry through explorative, meditative, and performative practices, we are able to present embodied opportunities for such behavioral and attitudinal shifts required to address the societal changes and challenges that we face. That's all from me. Thank you, Professor Saranta and Professor Mietin, and also that collaborated on the other half of the case and the thinking as part of this research in Lapland. And thank you to everybody on the Nakagawa River, and thank you, DESIS community. That's all.
Thank you very much, Toki, for sharing this wonderful research you have been doing, project-based research, and also I know that this is your passion. I think we are at the end of our presentations and would really now want to open the floor for some questions. Now, unfortunately, I cannot present my research because if I would too much overlap with the DESIS Lab in Arctic. So Amna's here with us, and I have been presenting with the Arctic DESIS Lab sometime last year. And after that, I started here at Kyushu, and I hope next time there will be an opportunity to also show some of my research. But I think now we can open the floor. Toki, if you are okay to stop sharing your screen, I think then we can start to have a conversation, and we can all start to open the floor for question, discussion, and I'm very happy to share this wonderful opportunity with you. We have 35 participants. Welcome to all of you who came a little bit later. You are most welcome. Teresa, how do we handle the questions? Are you happy to support me with that? And if some of you want to use the chat, of course, you can also put questions in there. But I'm very happy for people putting hands up. And yeah, just starting the conversation. So any questions to our speakers, Professor Hirai, Professor Chang, and Inamura, please just open your screens or your microphones or put your hands up. Thank you so much.
Great.
Just to break the ice, I would like to say that I'm quite happy to see that there is people from New Zealand, from Brazil, from Japan, from China. So we are very well represented here today. I see that as already raised his hand. Do you want to start saying something?
No, sorry. I want only to say that unfortunately I arrived late, more than half an hour late. That is normal for an Italian professor. No, I'm joking. It's that I made a mess with the timing zone, but I'm very happy. So I at least I have the possibility to listen to the last presenter. That was really interesting. And I don't have a very specific question because it was clear. And I want only to underline that maybe beyond the result, what make this presentation special, at least for me, is the way in which it's done. So it's not only an issue about the result that for sure are interesting, but it's an issue about the experience that has been proposed and done. So what does it mean to try to learn how to think as a bird, how to see the world as a bird or as a river or as a fish? And I know that probably there are, I don't know the others that participated today, but this issue about what does it mean to design more than human is a topic that is very widely discussed around the world. Very widely is a big term, but let's say in the community of design is widely diffused. But what I find really very interesting is that in your case, it's not only a kind of philosophical discussion that could be interesting, but it's an attempt to make it in practice, to see what happens. And this I want to say, given that this is a meeting, the DESIS Café is a meeting of the DESIS, and we are define ourselves as a network for design research, and means research done designing, so to be thoughtful and reflective while we design. So I think that the special contribution that we could bring is not only to intervene in a theoretical discussion, but to extract from some experience something that can also feed the philosophical discussion that is very needed, also that one. One thing that would be very, very important is that a way to work into the network. As you know, this network is very light. We are not asking anything to anybody, so everybody do what they want. But we encourage to create some cluster on some topics. And nowadays, I must say that this topic is been very discussed in DESIS. So maybe you know, maybe not, but we have done a series of what we call philosophy talk, more or less on this topic. Maybe you know Arturo, that is our friend in doing this kind of work. And but this has been mainly a reflection. So it will be very important to see who else is doing something similar and try to create what we call a cluster. So to create a subgroup in DESIS that is is dealing with this kind of issue. And I really will like to support the idea that something can be created after, because the DESIS Café, by this definition, is a cafe. So it's presenting something and starting a conversation in a very informal way. But if we want to go on, maybe we could start the DESIS Café have as one of the motivation to know what we do and to try to create some more tight link in between the one that are doing something similar. So I will not push anybody to do differently from what they want to do. But for instance, I see now here Francesca in Shanghai that she's doing something also in this direction. And in Shanghai, they are working with, there is also John Thakara, that is a friend of us, that is working on this topic. So I don't know so much the others, but it will be nice to establish some relationships. So sorry, I've been a little bit long, but I wanted really to say that I am very happy of this meeting, and I hope that something can happen again, some cafe, but also something more organized and more capable to have the time and the way to exchange experiences.
Thank you, Ezio. In fact, I was saying that this is a new lab, so I think it's the start of something to be connected with other DESIS labs. So thank you very much. I see also that Aguinaldo from Brazil has put some questions in the chat, but I will invite Aguinaldo to open the mic, so maybe we can have this discussion. Aguinaldo, are you there? Okay, the family is sleeping. Okay, but I don't know if someone wants to answer his question. Melanie, do you want to?
Thank you. I just want to pick up from Ezio. Thank you very much for the reflection. We really appreciate this reflection immensely. We have been contacted actually by the Emily Carr University. This cluster is something that they are super interested in. Unfortunately, due to our time zones, we could not shift the time zones so to have Emily Carr here. But this is a topic they are very interested in. We also know of the Arctic Lab in Lapland, so they have the BioArctic Lab there. So there certainly is quite a few of our DESIS partners that are quite interested in this cluster, and we would certainly want to contribute getting this cluster up and going. There are so many wonderful feedback in the chat coming from Amna. Then Akinaldo, I think Tokushu, if you can perhaps pick up that comment. Aguinaldo, thank you. We can see that you cannot really discuss now, but anyway, Tokushu will pick up your conversation in a minute. Thank you all for for all the great feedback. Tokushu, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very interesting and point of view, and I generally wholeheartedly agree that the kind of sense of equity can be expanded. So we have Professor Hirai told us about inclusive design and societal design. And inclusion is an idea that can expand obviously beyond humans, like a dog or your pet cat is a simple example. But seeing a bird on a tree, this kind of thing is very tangible. But also, if you have some yogurt, you might think, oh, I have some kind of species joining myself, my body. So these kind of things is levels of thinking. I think the fundamental design education and also design practice can be based on this kinds of shift to explore. I don't say that there's a correct way to do such a shift, but I think this is very much worthwhile to draw from the many different cultures that exist and cultivated in different places around the world, and to maybe highlight those differences so that we see like equity in that light. And I'm not so knowledgeable about the rhizomatic principle, but I work with bamboo quite a bit. Because it's a monoculture that grows too much, and the rhizomes are so powerful. So having this underground network of different bacteria and species and grasses and tree roots, these kind of things are very inspirational to my work. But I hope that we could have some discussion about that further. Thank you, Aguinaldo. I think, Melanie, I'll pass the mic back to you.
Yeah, there is Francesca and Maria Clara. They have raised their hands.
Hello. Since I was named and I was also late, so I missed a little bit of the part, but yeah, there is a few people. Well, here in China, I can say a little bit, but there is also June in Korea. That is also I recently we were in touch recently after a while. It was also part and friends of this network like for many years. And they also have in Seoul, they're also having developing something that is about this more than human. So maybe there could be an Asian-based sort of conversation that we can open up about this topic. Maybe just giving us the chance to share a little bit more about what we are doing in our labs. I think that could be a good starting point. And yeah, we are doing something about on the big kind of name of design and ecology, but I try to work on life-centered design as kind of way that we're framing. And there is one of also our researcher that is also listening to this conversation. She's also has a quite nice project about birds in the city using soundscape as a design material to access to a certain way of mapping, for example. So looking at the city from also a sensorial perspective that it goes beyond what we can use with the human senses. So yeah, maybe because as far as I understand, you're a new lab. We are an old lab. Maybe you are more active. The new people are usually more active than the old people. At least for our perspective, but I know a little bit about how the clusters work, and so maybe I will just allow myself. I drop my email maybe and website in the chat, so or you do the same. So maybe we can have a little conversation exchange, and then we find an opportunity in to have like a chat, and then we just exchange more about that. But yeah, thank you for the sharing. That was also quite nice for the part that I was able to listen.
Yeah, it's great to hear that there are so many active communities here that we can share these themes and perspectives. So we just joined. We're very much keen to continue that conversation.
Thank you, Clara. Please go ahead. Thank you.
I was also late. I was at the other link, but I just heard the last presentation, so it will be about it. So I was thinking, it was amazing. It was an incredible presentation. And I was thinking, have you considered the trees or the river or the wind? Like when you told about the trees that goes to the tree that goes to the river, have you considered thinking how the tree thinks? Like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So this is an interesting point, is that there is some feeling of caution from some cultural perspective about anthropomorphizing non-humans. But from the way I'm exploring, I think it's more about exploring human capabilities to have other imaginations. And so it might not be that you are thinking as a tree, but quite often an exercise I do is, if we're on a farm or a river bank, the meditative exercise will go into the ground. And then so you imagine the root connections, you imagine the different communication with the bacteria, the flow of water. And then quite often I enjoy to go up the tree into the canopy through the middle of the tree. And it's an imagining exercise. So it doesn't matter that you are not a biologist and you do not know the exact arrangement of cells or xylem or phloem or the structure. You are testing and you are testing your imaginings. So I think that activity, then you become curious, and then you can engage with scientific knowledge of such things as well to update your knowledge if you find that your imagination feels to be like somewhat stuck. So I very much enjoy going through like different species and guiding. And so this is a meditative process is something that I'm working on and publishing on. Yeah. So trees, yes. Thank you for the wonderful question.
I would like to ask something else, if it's okay.
Go ahead.
How did you choose the species? How did you narrow down to those species?
I think that it's like when you spend time on anywhere and you are exploring the different life there, then I think on a knowledge level, you can become more aware that there are, for example, microbacterial life, microbiomes that exist, as well as tangible species we know, like, the kingfisher. But these come from like walking and observing, cycling, paddling, being in the field. So it's like awareness, just like if you're doing a human-centered design, you're becoming aware of different users, environments, structures. So very much in a similar way, it's just becoming more accustomed to have that curiosity to see, oh, I wonder if there's a fish under this rock, or I wonder, is there somebody here at night, for example, So, but that somebody can be anything from a leaf or a cat, or, So I think that's kind of good point, because I think diving directly towards famous iconic species that we're supposed to protect or that region is very proud of is a little bit limiting. It's a bit dangerous. I think we need a more expansive way to see what kind of living things interact in the field. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tokushu, and thank you for the great questions, Clara. And I wonder, are there any other discussions, points? Yeah, please. We don't have any hands. We have a lot of discussions in the chat. So there are great ideas about a network, and certainly it seems that there's a lot of support for this cluster that Ezio mentioned. Thank you.
Hello, Melania.
Hi.
May I say? Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
You can go. You can go.
Yeah. I can't put my hand on the screen. Sorry. I was a little late, but I listened most of them. I'm very happy to join this Café, and it's relatively time zone friendly for us this time. So I invite my colleagues and the student team, and also the promoting the DESIS China. So I think, as mentioned, between Japan and China, we can have more convenient condition to build more connections. I'm really happy today I can see the Fumi and very long-time friends, and they really have a big impact, I think, in the sustainable design in Japan international work. So I would like to have more connection with you and to learn more each other. Yeah, that's your presentations were very impressive to me. I have no very special question, but maybe I can ask one special one if Professor Zhang Yanfang still there. Oh, she may just left. So we will see later.
Just a second, Melson, she may be back in a few minutes, and please ask your question because we still have quite a bit of time. And I'm sure that she will really appreciate your question. Thank you very much specifically for you coming, Melson, because we were really hoping to catch up with you in this meeting. And we know that you are super active in DESIS China. And I think the DESIS Lab really, or all the DESIS Labs really appreciate your wonderful work. So we're looking forward to a meeting. So, and Yanfang is back now. So Yanfang, there was a question.
Yanfang, you did a great job on the GDS and regarding the education program for the high school, right? Yeah. I'm wondering if this, you must work a lot on that. So in your, how can I say, duties, it belongs to the research or it belongs to the teaching part of your job? So because we have similar something not to the middle school or primary school, but not specifically on the sustainability, but on the creativity. But I think it's easy to include the GDS attention. But how to organize an educational system? I think it's yeah. I'm wondering how do you do? You didn't open the mic.
Oh, thank you, Melson. Thank you for your question. Yeah, this kind of SDGs education program all start from just one call. You know, as the member of SDGs unit, so one day I get a call from high school teacher. You know, we want to teach the high school student SDGs, but we don't know SDGs. I think it's so big. We need some expert to explain the high school student in some special way. What is SDGs itself and what the student think about SDGs, notice about this and do SDGs. So just one call. The good things because that high school is very close with our university. By car, only 5 minutes. I say, why we don't meet and to talk about this? So, and then the first meeting, we just talk about that. I think the very important things, there's, how can I say, they're so passionate about this kind of program. And also, we don't know how much we can do, but let's do it one class. So we make a very short program with the 17 students the first year. And then they say, oh, it looks good. So we make so 1 week. In fact, the first program with just a 1 week program. And then things are good. So next year, maybe we can make 50 students. So the next year, expand 50 students. Let's say just one small program of myself. But because of the SDGs program, because we want to work with the how can I say, teachers, so I involved more design education, the expert professor of our university, also the staff of. So there are 3 professors, work with another 3 high school students, the teachers, so the second year. And let also our just activities, not research, just activities. But we think it's very important things we get a good result. And then we think we should make more impact things. And then they involved our faculty of design. We need a fund. We need the, how can I say, so we get a small fund from the faculty of design. So even more professor and make a more project. But that project, the base is on the SDGs education and SDGs, how can I say, research. That's why we need a fund and we need to how can I say, to create this kind of SDGs education methodology we want to share. So we make an application. So, and the 3rd year. So, and 4th year, the 5th year, we make it bigger and bigger. We think about the book, we think about the conference, these kind of things. So just start from one small activity. It's not sustainable. That's why we want to involve the people, involve the, how can I say, the motivation of the professor, we need money. So that's why we talk with the university and we get the fund, we keep doing this one. And the 3rd year, we get the fund from the government because they use some Japanese, how can I say, kakenhi, in the Japanese, the government's fund, we got that. So we keep moving. So yeah,
I see.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
great case.
yeah.
We start
But
from the small volunteer work and to
yes,
be the formulated the project in the university
yeah,
system. Thank you. I
yeah,
see.
yeah. How can make
I think
circle is the important things. Yeah, yeah.
Petit, you have some question.
Thank you very much, Marcin and Yanfang. We now have Beatrice. Please, you have been very patient. Thank you so much, Beatrice.
Oh no, it's great to hear the discussions that are being raised here. So for me, it's very, I'm waiting, but I'm actively listening. So it has been great. Yes. And first of all, I would like to say that it's so inspiring to see this room full of people. So 34 people that have been here and being so carefully listening and so inspiring. So this has been really great. And we are at DESIS Lab quite new ourselves. So we only have 2 years. We are full of energy, like Francesca said. So it's great to hear all of these projects, and they were both inspiring. I want also to thank both speakers, because both projects, they are so important and so relevant and raise so many important insights. And for about the first project of Professor Yanfang, I would love to know more about also the Global Goals Jam. So if there's a way that we could also participate from Europe, that would be great to have to also support this idea of clusters. So maybe some of the questions, they could already be a starting point for clusters of DESIS in different points of the globe. So I would love to know more about that. And about the second presentation of Professor Tokushu, it took me a lot. It took me a little bit of time to integrate of such inspiring presentation, because it's so true of all the things that we have to acknowledge when to know people and to work with people. It's also about the context and all the living beings that are around. So we are starting a community garden at our campus, and we have a workshop of starting designing it, and I will definitely integrate some of these biocentric ideas and experience within the space to start thinking and reflecting about it. So it was really, really inspiring to listen, and it already gave a lot of ideas for our projects. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Beatrice, can I also please ask you to just drop your email in the chat, and we are very happy to follow up. We have been carefully scanning the chat for all the emails. Thank you very much. Because we are new, we're still trying to figure out who is where and who's active in which lab. So we really appreciate your emails. Thank you.
I also share the Global Goals Jam, the organizations, the website there. You can just make a next host next year, maybe.
Yes, that would be great. I will look into it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Really great. I think we are more or less coming to the end of our session, and I know that, we have about 10 minutes left, and I usually know that towards the end of the session, there's a bit of a wrap-up and a reflection by our DESIS committee. So if there are no further questions, I think we can perhaps go towards the wrap-up, if that sounds like a good idea. Thank you all for your sharing your contact details. We will certainly get back with all of you. And again, I want to thank our speakers, Professor Yas Hirai. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and telling a little bit more about our university and our faculty and also our department. Thank you very much, Yanfang, and thank you much, Toki. And yes, I think then we can give the floor to DESIS, to our DESIS coordinator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melanie. I would like just to thank you all for the great conversation we had today. I would like to also give the note to you that you are a new DESIS Lab, and we are quite happy that you have stepped forward to organize this DESIS Café. The next two will be to historical DESIS Labs. So we will have in March the Polimi DESIS Lab from Politecnico de Milan, where everything started. And in May, we will have the DESIS Café with Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, also a historical one from Carla Cipolla. So I think it will be quite interesting to see the new ones and the eldest ones coming together. So thank you very much. And I think that Aguinaldo has sent also a challenge for everyone to start a thesis on post-anthropocentric design for social innovation. So the invitation is here, and DESIS Café, it's also for these kind of things to connect everyone. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for
you
coming to
for
our
joining.
DESIS Lab.
Thank you so much.
Nice to see you all here.
Thank you.
A lot of
Goodbye.
Chinese, so
Goodbye.
zaijian.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.